Alright, so we've done a fair amount of background on the chart and find ourselves right here where we started with the CEG box. That's 145. The fourth, my wife's getting herself something for lunch there. We're both kind of on a diet because we both caught the same cold and kind of lost my appetite, but that's okay because I'm doing more guitar stuff. So what do we got here? I decided that the string circles were fine to do the shape circles, and what string fragment or string pattern we're on, to know that. Now without the circles, you just look at it as you're tuning a guitar. So this is going up in fourths and down in fifths. Okay, so if you're on the C shape there, the fourth of C is what? Actually, it goes in. This is the difference. This is the difference. I was wrong. It goes up in fifths because we're doing the shapes. I better show that. We're going up in fifths here. So sure, 3 to 6 is E to A in the key of C. That's in fourths. Note by note, it's going up in fourth, but in string shapes, it's going up in fifth. So my bad there. That's where I make my mistakes sometimes, but that's all it is just realizing how we looking at this. We're looking at, now this is why this is emboldened, because this is the defining string shape, the bass string shape for the C cage, for the CEG cage. It's an E-shaped fourth and it's a G-shaped fifth. This cage. Coming down on the E-shaped fourth. Going up on the G-shaped fifth. And then down on a diatonic, all three of them. Now, that was about kind of yesterday's lesson level, where we've got, you know, I digressed there and then we got a little tripped up, but it's going up in fifths and down in fourths. So and then we have the warp there, where we're going from the E shape, which would be the 7 root 2, to the C shape, and that is an augmented fifth right there. Notice that's not strictly at the warp there. Where the 7 goes to the 3 on the warp, just incidentally, is right here in the G box. So you can see the augmented nature there. Strictly speaking, though, that's not the exact interval we're looking for, because we're talking about shapes here, not notes. We're talking about string pattern shape assignments. So starting on the C here, we would have the 3, 4, 5. The D, okay, going up here in the modal, the D shape. Okay, now this is not the string circle. Let me get the string circle over here for a second. Okay, so now we have the string circle here right next to us so we can talk about this. Okay, now remember the string circle, here's your C string pattern shape. C, and then the next thing you have is the G string pattern shape. Then on top of that we have the Dorian pattern shape, 2, 3, 4. It's a Dorian, but it's also a D-shaped root. Then we have the A shape, the 5, 6. And just learn these. E shape is 7 root 2. It's so much better than having to learn a pattern and count along. You're just assigning a letter to each of these strings, and then the C shape up top again. That is the string circle. Okay, so let's hope we're done with that. It's still like scratch my head. I still had to find out, what about the modes? What about what about that? Because the string circle gives us like C, gives us this pentatonic thing or this thing in fifths, that kind of thing. What about the modes? What are modes? Modes are chords that are made on each of the scale tones, and they take on minor and augmented fourths and augmented fourths, which is your Lydian fourth. It takes on the double the minor on top of a minor interval of the half diminished seventh, and then the Ionian and all that stuff. That's what the modes are. So the modes in C, let's first do 1, 4, 5. So here's 1, here's 4, here's 5. If I played an A minor, which one would that be? That's the 6th minor. E minor is the 3rd minor. D minor is the 2nd minor. So they kind of count. And then we have our half diminished, which is difficult to play. So I arpeggiated it. So those are the modes. Now each of the shapes has the modal relationships, but we have to count from. Let's look what we did in C. We're going up a pentatonic scale. C, D, E, G, A. That's it. C, D, E, G, A. And if you're going backwards, so you're doing this. Then we will go down a pentatonic scale. I was looking at the piano. All right. Now, what's with the EE? The 3rd and the 4th are in the same cage here. They're all in the same cage, but the 3rd and the 4th are the same shape, just one's minor and one's major. So the 3rd minor is an E minor shaped minor, 7, 3, 5, right there. In your E minor, 7, B, E, G. 2nd inversion, and then just bring it up 1 scale tone chord each, not chromatically. Bringing this up chromatically would be it's 1 scale tone chord each. B goes to C, E goes to F, G goes to A. And that will be an E major shaped. So that's what the double is there, and it changes for each of the shapes because we start on the Ionian and we just add 1 pentatonic letter in the key of C caged to get through the circle. So it makes it pretty easy. And before we start playing away here, let's go to the G box. We start on a G-shaped root now, 6 root. Okay, so we got root 3, 5. Here's our root-shaped G, root 3, 5, root. Definitely our G-shaped root. We start there on top. And we're going to count up in a pentatonic scale. So the 2nd's going to be an A minor shaped D minor. Then we go to a C-shaped E minor, and so on.